Thanks once again for tuning in to another video. For our next installation, we're looking at some additional accessory lights or fog lamps on the engine guard. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be using these night light LED. These have some really good reviews on Amazon. They seem really rugged, and they seem to be also waterproof, weatherproof. So we went ahead and we bought these instead of buying. I was honestly thinking about using the factory signal lights since I removed them off the rear, but looking at the lamps, and then I went ahead and bought these because those other lamps, they only have a ring of LEDs. These are all white, and the other ones, they're all either amber and white, and that's pretty much the reason why I went ahead and decided just to use these instead of using the stock Harley Davidsons. And we also went ahead with these clamps. These are the 1¼ and 3/4. These are the kits right here. So yeah, 3/4 to 1¼ inch. I believe the engine guard itself is factory engine guard is 1¼ inch. We also have these same ones over here, and these guys are the bigger ones. These are, I believe, up to 2 inches. But we just have those just there just in case. You could use these guys, the bigger one, but I wanted to use a more low profile look bracket, which is the reason why I went ahead and decided to get these. And this one has this little rubber piece in here already, as you can see. This is the 1¼ inch one. So this is the one we're going to use. If you needed to go 3/4 inch or smaller, you also have these other ones also provided in the kit. Harley Davidson also has its own mounting brackets, but I believe they're only chrome, so they don't even come black. So along with that, Harley Davidson stock parts, we went ahead and we're going to install these with a stock Harley Davidson switch housing. And this itself, along with the actual switch, they're sold separately. That's one of those pet peeves of mine, that you have to buy multiple components just to get it to work. They have multiple switches on Amazon that would also do the job, but to kind of keep the look of a factory installation, factory switch, I decided to go ahead and purchase this instead. You could get the Amazon switch. I'm pretty sure it would work just the same, and you're probably looking at that maybe $10 to $15. The switch alone for this one, I believe, was $20, and then that's another $20, so that's, $40. So it's just depending on the overall cosmetics of it. If you want it to look close to stock, instead of having that weird little button, this goes right on top of the clutch. This is the left side, so this goes right on top of the clutch bracket that's holding the clutch lever. And this is also black, even though the picture it's in black. So this is designed to look stock with the. You could also, there's also openings for another 3 more switches, so if you decide to add more lighting, you can add a switch, or if you decide to have a custom button on here for your garage opener or whatnot, you could also use those other housings, those other slots here, just to kind of keep that whole factory look of the bike. We also got this also to kind of wire. This is not enough to go all the way to the battery and the switch, so that's why we went ahead and got this instead. There's also a wiring kit from Harley Davidson that you could use for this. I believe it comes with the kit for a quick disconnect, and there you also have all these wires, but that was I don't know, I'm not sure. I couldn't really understand the whole deal with it. Some of them had, I guess, connectors that you were able to connect from Road King, or Softail, or some of the kits were for Softail, some of the kits were for touring models. So for that reason, I just went ahead and decided to go ahead and solder this, kind of like on my other video that I did, the alloy art lights, the LED lights. So we're gonna go ahead. We got this kit off of Amazon. I believe this is 25 feet each, and with this alone, we're gonna go ahead and wire this red wire to the switch, which is that's how it's gonna work. And we're gonna wire this to a ground, connect these guys all together, and at the same time also going to be wiring up the Plex audio system. So we're gonna have 2 videos off of this one installation, and I'll just have to figure out how to edit that after. Another item off of Amazon is this gaffer tape. This is what I believe it's going to be, because these wires are going to be hanging out on weathers, and we're going to go ahead and wrap these in electrical tape, and then we're going to wrap them in gaffer tape just to do it right. Just kind of like on the other video, do it right the first time. And let's just see how this turns out. We're gonna have to go measure how much wire we need, and probably solder that stuff in here, and then connect that onto the bike. Okay, just to check in once again, we have removed the battery cover over here. I'll show you guys how to put that back together, or probably not, just to cut time on the video. So right now I'm actually going to go ahead and install the Plex audio wires as well. Since I'm already here, I don't want to do this twice. And this is the one for the lights, and this is the one for Plex. They both have in-blade fuses, and I'm gonna run this underneath the tank. I haven't removed that as of yet. You can access the power from up here, and I went ahead and I removed the main fuse just as a precaution. And this is where we are up here in the front. Basically shrink wrapped, soldered all these wires together. Now this is connected to the switch that's on over there. And then once I finish installing the battery terminals and the wires and stuff like that, I'm gonna go ahead and then hook up these wires to the lights, and then hook up these wires to the Plex audio, which is gonna go right here, and that'll be another video. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just do the battery stuff all together right now, and that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and connect these wires and move on from there. Alright, we're still wiring these to the batteries. As you can see from up there, we have now connected the power. So we'll have to see how this works out with the cover, with the battery cover. This is the fuse for the lights, and then this is the fuse for the amp, the Plex system. Alright, now that we have the power installed, we are now going to go ahead and install the battery cover. Let's see if we can do this with one hand. Now the ground's back on there. Now we have to run these wires up the tank, put the grounds back installed, battery covers back in there. I'm gonna have to zip tie this onto something over here just to make sure all your wires are away from moving parts. That's always a good idea. And then I'm gonna have to zip tie this somewhere underneath here as well, just to get that clear for the Plex audio system. And then now that we've installed the dipstick back in, now we could put some of these wires back. That, of course, I went ahead and installed the clamps. It looks like an 1.25 inches is probably not enough. Look at there's a slight gap in between the bracket, and that's not even using the rubber mount piece on the inside. So I had the other bigger piece out here. This is the bigger one. I mean, you could use this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and install this one for right now, just because I like the way it looks. It's not huge as having this piece on it. You can see the difference. So we're just gonna go ahead and go with these smaller brackets, and right now we're just kind of deciding on how this is going to be wired, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of do a overall layout on how this is going to go and how we're going to wire this over to the Harley Davidson switch housing, which is out here, right here with me. I went ahead and installed the actual switch, the rocker switch. So the way you install this is it has a little lip right in here, and this goes and holds into the switch housing plate, and the rocker is actually being held by these little metal bendable pieces that goes right on top right here. See that? And that's what holds the rocker switch in the housing itself. And then for this one, you would have to remove the clutch bracket. You have to pull this one on, and this goes in its place. This goes in its place like so. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this guy, install this, and then, in case you don't know, this is the bottom where this is where the wire comes out. So just to make things easier on us, I went ahead and already wired and put that all in there, and then we're gonna start measuring the wire and how much we need, and then we're gonna have to remove the seat so we could get that all connected into the battery. So let's go ahead and install this housing switch on the clutch lever bracket. Now that we've installed the switch housing, we already went ahead and we ran the wire through. It's not connected over here yet. Of course, yeah, this having everything connected, soldering would be the last part. These are the lights. This is already connected. This is the left side, so remember, make sure you put this in the right place, this first one. Okay, so that's gonna go like so, and you could route this however you would like. I'm looking at probably running it along right through here, just to kind of get everything to look as stock as possible. So you could run all the wires down here and then come down this way and then wire everything right around this area, or try to see if we could put these and wire these wires somewhere where we don't have to worry about the weather so much, kind of like we did for these lights. These lights are wired underneath the seat, So we don't have enough wire here to do that. So we are gonna have to solder somewhere out here and then shrink tube it and try to make it as weatherproof as we can. All right. So that goes like so, and then the bracket in the front goes on top. And I'll give you guys the look on how all of this is going to come together. I'm trying to cut the videos a little shorter than usual, so I'm going to do a lot more editing. Alright, we already went ahead and installed the switch housing. This is how she looks. It looks pretty stock. Looks pretty stock. That's on and that's off, of course. The wires are being routed right on through here to kind of give it that stock feel and look. We just gotta wire these guys up. So this is the fuse for the lights. This is the fuse for audioplex. This is run underneath the tank, and the lights are actually connected through this quick disconnect. I'm gonna also wrap that up in electrical tape and weather tape. And I have to organize all this other stuff here. Need to use more zip ties to kind of hold this stuff up. This is going to be up here, but the lights are pretty much already installed. All of this is already connected to the switch. Hit the turn on, and that's what they look like. They're bright. Might have to aim these down just so I don't get a ticket. Those are turned on, and then once again the switch over here, that's what turns them off. Alright, and that's pretty much it. I do like the switch housing from Harley Davidson. It looks pretty stock. Can't really tell. The wires are pretty well hidden. I just have to tape this stuff up and get it in the right place. And then I also got to zip tie these fuse blades, inline fuse wires. I gotta zip tie this, make sure it's not touching the spring here, just to make sure nothing's getting pinched. Thank you guys for watching. That's pretty much it. I'll show you guys another video on what I think about these lights down the road. This is also adjustable. You can move this up and down, but I'll have to get the proper bolt here for this, just to make sure they're nice and seated. Thank you guys. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about these lights. 20 bucks, not that bad. With these lights and the custom dynamic lights, I'm pretty sure people are going to start to see me coming down the road. I don't want to get cut off or anything like that on my Harley. Thank you guys.